Here we have one of the worst, no, I'm gonna say the worst hack job I've ever seen. Some people shouldn't be allowed to work on their trucks. So here we have a oil turbo feed line, oil pressure feed for the turbo, just way too long. The oil return line, way too long, rubbing on the frame. Frame mount not done correctly. Coolant line. And then check out this turbo slapped on the engine. Sticking up so high. Got to cut a hole in the hood. No air filtration. Lots of nice dust particles going into the cylinders. Just a wiring nightmare. Some random power steering pump / reservoir hooked into the steering box. Engine mount ripping off because the frame mounts are at the wrong angle. Not to mention they're not even holding half of the engine mount. We've got a brake line to shut the engine off. We've got the wrong dipstick installed. The wrong throttle cable. An electric fan. This is gonna go. So we're gonna get started on this. Now the owner didn't do the work, but he brought it to me because he wants the wiring fixed up a bit so it's semi-reliable. It's basically going to be used as a farm truck, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but man, I've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like this. Look at this support here. Booger welded onto the alternator bracket. Unbelievable. He's got the 81 thermostat, the lower housing, which doesn't have a port to be able to put the sensor. And then this side, this is a stupid hose here. I'm just thinking, I'd like to get rid of this rear heater hose stuff, but what a mess. What if I just ran this hose? No, I couldn't. That wouldn't work. Where the heck would I put that sensor? So what you're seeing here is my attempt to install the original fan shroud with a new fan clutch and fan. What I did is I drilled out the spot welds of the lower fan shroud extension, and as you can see, the engine was installed so far out of alignment, it doesn't really make any sense to try and make this fan shroud work. So I'm going to end up going back to the electric fan setup, unfortunately. So here we are on the Nightmare truck. It's got the typical low T-case oil issue where the oil migrates into the transmission. This T-case is dangerously low on oil. And I noticed that this flange was loose like this. You can see how it's moving. And I thought, you know what, maybe the nut's not tight, considering all the horrible work on this truck. Yeah, they had it staked, and the nut was barely tight. This spec on this, I think, is 94 foot-pounds. It wasn't even close to that. So while we're here, I'm going to pull it out and pull the nut off, pull the flange off, pull the seal out, put a new seal in. Here we have the seal exposed, and it's probably never been replaced. Here, I'm trying to just tap the seal. It's hard as glass. See if I can do this one-handed. There she is. That seal surface is rock hard, and that's the problem. We'll clean all this up before we put the new seal in. Should have pressure washed it before, but this truck isn't insured and I don't have a pressure washer, so I can't take it to the gas station. Nice new seal installed. So here we are, cleaned up as much as possible within reason. The power steering pump, the electric one, was relocated and rewired. Battery was installed here with new military battery terminals, new cables made. A manual glow system was installed with a circuit breaker and a solenoid. New clutch master installed. A newer rad cap installed. The original fan shroud wouldn't fit because the engine is so out of alignment, so we had to use the electric fan that was already on here. So I just made a couple quick brackets to mount it in place because it was being held in place with plastic ties. And then the fan is operated by a capillary tube, which is operated by this thermostat here. I labeled the wiring. This joke of a setup here, zip tied and clamped lines in place that were rubbing on each other. And what else can I tell you? This took a lot of time. Got rid of about 10 feet of wire. And the fan is run off a relay. Also did a new output shaft seal on the transfer case. And new universal joints in the drive shaft they had play. And put a new exhaust hanger on because that was just about to break off. And the glow plugs are operated by a momentary switch on the dash. Right here. They will only operate when the ignition's turned on. And then I decided to wire in the fan, the power steering pump to an electric switch. So when you're just driving straight down the road, you don't need that thing running all the time. So then you can just switch it on and off. Anyways, this was a very interesting, time-consuming job. Oh, and I also made a little hood scoop kind of thing to cover the turbo. But yeah, this job was a bit of a nightmare. The wrong wiring harness. All kinds of wires all over the place that I cut out. Anyways, I got her cleaned up as best I could, considering this is supposed to be a budget job, but I put over 40 hours into this thing. The brackets I fabricated for this just to hold it in place. Very solid. There's 3 brackets on that now. Added a battery tray to this side. This had to be moved because it was sitting here, so we couldn't add a second battery. Anyways, that's about it. We will be adding a proper coolant reservoir. Somebody installed the light crooked. Oh, and the blower motor also wasn't working, so I had to figure that out. And the tail lights weren't working because the wrong wire was hooked up. Anyways, if you found this video interesting at all, give me a like. Drop a comment below. What do you think about this whole nightmare of a job? Definitely not my cup of tea working on something like this, but it was a good challenge, and the customer will be happy. And this hose clamp will be added. He is bringing it with him when he picks the truck up.